Thank you. Thank you to all the LSU fans out there, to all the supporters. Today is a big day for the LSU program. I'm pretty sure you all heard the news today on the big hire of Lane Kiffin. One of the best offensive minds in college football today. I believe we all can agree. One of the best play callers in college football today. I believe we should all agree on that. I really do. We should all agree. Lane Kiffin is one of the best coaches, in college football right now. A lot of people not going to like that. That's fine. But you guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Again, follow your boy on YouTube. Go Blue Sports Podcast, LSU FANDAN. You know, I'm one half of the sports podcast that we're going to get rolling. You know, with my better half of the podcast world, Coach Tory Lynch. You know, he'll be here soon. But again, today's a good eye opener for LSU fans on how some people really feel about us. And you know, I'm gonna go into this later. But we have to accept the villain role from here on out. We have to go into our bad guy era in the LSU program. And I'm going to tell you why a little later. But thanks again, guys. On TikTok, LSU FANDAN1. Instagram, hit me up on, I believe it's LSU_FANDAN on Instagram. Hit me up. I have the shades on. I know, I'm sorry. But it's to further push the point of the bad guy era that we are in as LSU fans. And again, I'm going to touch on it. It's going to be the majority of the show. Guys, we're big time as a program. And this was a big time hire for us because it's the piece we need to complete the program. I'm going to get into it later. But I wanted to touch on some news. We did have a game Saturday. I'm not going to go over the game Saturday. I appreciate the guys' effort. You know, their drive, you know, their will to fight. But I know that their skill set is not being utilized fully. So it was just a bum year. But the good thing about it is, it's behind us right now. And you know why it's behind us. But I must say, for all the young prospects on the team, you know, that contributed this year, and Kiffin will develop you. Charlie Weiss Jr. is coming with him. Quarterback will be developed. We have to trust Lane Kiffin with these young pieces that decide to stay. But again, I'm not going to go over the game. I thank you guys. You know, I love this team through and through. Go Tigers. Ride or die. This is a down year. And we're looking forward from here on out as the bad guy. But again, disappointing loss against Oklahoma. And that's that, man. You know, it's how the whole season went. A big disappointment. But, you know, I digress from that. You know, I love this team. We have a bright future ahead. But, you know, there were some other hires, you know, today and the day before in the college football world. Arkansas found their guy in Ryan Silverfield, the former head coach of Memphis University. You know, it's a wait and see, man. Will they put money into the program for him? He had a really disappointing year this year at Memphis, especially with their last loss to Navy. They had a big win against Arkansas early on in the year, which was a big win for them. But, kind of downward spiral since then, I believe. But, we'll see. Again, Ryan Silverfield. It's a wait and see there, man. I just don't know. I just don't know yet. It may be an okay hire if they pour into him. Auburn University. This is a sneaky good pick, I believe, in my opinion. Alex Golish, the University of South Florida coach. Sorry, I'm excited. I believe that's a solid hire for Auburn University. He's going to be big time there. I believe, man. They're going to be a contender pretty soon. Deuce Knight stay. Who's to say he just don't go straight to Deuce Knight? Hey, man, let's get better. Coleman stays, trust the process. Might as well. They had a tough season this year. I believe he's a good hire. He can turn it around quicker than we think. What's another hire? I mean, somebody else was hired today. I mean, of course, Ole Miss replaced Lane Kiffin with Pete Golden, the defensive coordinator. They say he's the permanent coach there, in which I believe another solid hire for Ole Miss. He's gonna have a good program there. Pete Golden is a great defensive mind. He did great things with the pieces he had there to this season, and he's gonna lead them to the playoffs. And let's see what they do. But it's a solid hire for him, Pete Golden. Let's see what how his offensive staff gets put together. But we give him some time. Ole Miss be a threat. Not on our level. They'll be a threat. Again, it's college football, man. Anything can happen. What else? Who else was hired, man? That's all for now. But it was a couple hot. Oh my God, Dan, I'm tripping. John Summerall was hired by the University of Florida. The Gators, baby. John Summerall. That's a good hire. Solid hire. John Summerall. Great recruiting spots for him. He may get a couple of Louisiana guys. Who knows? To come to Florida. It's a solid coach. Did big things with Tulane. Year in and year out, man. That's a great hire for University of Florida. Look out for him, man. He get a good system going there, gets the defense, but keeps the defense solid. They'll be a great program again. All these hires, I believe, is making the SEC better as a conference. I really do. With these new hires, the SEC is making a comeback. Not as to where they're not the best anymore, but as far as there's no question. Because other conferences are really thinking that they are the SEC or better. When we know, it's only, we know who they are, but come on, man. It's the SEC. It just means more. And speaking of, it just means more, I'm going to go on over to the subject of our whole personality change as an LSU fan base. Because we really have to realize that we're going into the future as the bad guys. Year in and year out. We are the bad guys. Lane Kiffin is the bad guy. And the reason why I say that, because they're painting him to be the bad guy because he made the right decision by coming to LSU. We know that the recruiting area in Louisiana is fertile. they all will be interested to play for Lane Kiffin. Let's just be honest. And not saying that he can get everybody, but let's be real, this Lane Kiffin, great offensive mind. He's going to know how to use these weapons year in and year out, and these prospects are going to see that as they go to the NFL. So we're the better program. But again, he's the bad guy for it. And going into knowing that he's the bad guy, and then again, the thing was saying it just means more in the SEC. The Ole Miss fans, man. Oh my gosh. The Ole Miss fans. Really, it's just funny. They really showed Lane Kiffin how they felt. I'm going to try something a little new today. A little nuance I'm going to try to add. A little audio. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for things. We'll learn as we get along, in this content game. A great hobby. I thank you guys again for joining me. LSU FANDAN 1 on TikTok. Go Blue Sports Podcast right here on YouTube. And on Instagram, LSU_FANDAN. Thank you guys. Please hit me up. I love to interact with you. But as I want to try to find a video that I've seen earlier that just made me realize what just happened. And what I'm going to, play, I'm not going to have it too loud, but kids, guard your ears if you're listening. There's going to be some bad words being said. But the Ole Miss fans, as Kiffin is boarding the plane to come to Baton Rouge, man, the hate that they spewed out is crazy to see and funny at the same time. Because you're seeing a breakup. And I'm going to try to use an analogy. Just bear with me. You're seeing a breakup to where other people have been comparing Lane Kiffin being with Ole Miss as the good girl, the safe girl, the conservative girl that does everything right, the loving girl, and LSU as the baddie. Like he just, he wants the baddie. He wants to leave the good girl and join the baddie that could be dangerous for him. When really, it's the other way around. Bear with me. I'm not going to try to get too deep, but I thought about it because I've seen a lot of posts about it, and they just keep using a comparison. Good girl, bad girl. Ole Miss is good girl. LSU is the bad girl. Let me tell you why it's the other way around. Ole Miss, to me, is considered the baddie. The program that is like, look, I'm giving you what you want. Just keep giving me these wins. Keep making me relevant. I'm going to give you a little bit here and there. Bear with me. Think about it. I'm going to give you a little bit here and there. Just be happy. You're making me relevant. You're staying relevant. Stay with me. Be content. When the whole time, the girl that he's been wanting years before just couldn't make it happen, that he always wanted, the good girl that for sure has top qualities in a relationship. Think about it. You can see a future with her. She's solid, gonna hold you down, gonna go to war for you, family, wife and kids, very fertile. You're gonna marry. That's why you signed on long term. This is a marriage. And yes, he's had trouble at few other programs, but his head's on right. he gonna leave the baddie alone and say, you know what? I know this is solid with LSU. That is, I see a bright future with her. Let me settle down and do right because I can succeed in this marriage. And that's the analogy. LSU is the good girl, man, in this situation. I'm sorry for the wild analogy, but I'm gonna digress off of that. Just marinate on that, man. I'm being a little goofy today. I'm hyped, man, because it's so big for the program to get Lane Kiffin. And he hasn't, coached the game yet, but you see the impact. Day one, he's with Lamar Brown. Who knew he was gonna get to work soon as he touched down? He visits Lamar Brown. That's a bar too. Soon as he touched down, he visited Lamar Brown. That's funny. But there was a bar though. I'm gonna give myself a horn. Getting right to work, man. You love to see it. And Lane Kiffin is not gonna play around, man. It's bad guy era. And he knows it. He's accepted the role. And he's gonna be like the Joker in the Dark Knight, showing the truth that's in plain sight that he warned us. He's one of the ones that warned about the NIL as well, that it needs a cap. But now he's going to show you why you're going to need a cap, because he's going to utilize the funds that LSU's going to give him, 25 to 30 million a year for NIL and recruiting and transfer portal to go towards the roster. You don't think Lane Kiffin is going to, I'm not going to say he's going to splurge, but you don't think he can have his pick on who he will, what prospect that he know he can utilize at the best. He can give them the vision that this program, this offense that I have, you will flourish in it and you're off to the NFL. He has LSU on his shirt now. LSU. He has LSU on his shirt now. Recruits will know, especially in Louisiana, man. We got a lot of the top recruits in the next 4 or 5 recruiting classes. And that's like top 5, top 10 prospects in at least 3 or 4 different positions just in Louisiana. He's going to have his hand in that. Some may, go up, other programs, but Lane Kiffin is going to take advantage. And he's going to take over the league. And I've said it in past episodes. They don't want us to get Lane Kiffin because the hate will be real if we got him. I've said it in the past episodes. You can go look it up, check it out. Again, Go Blue Sports Podcast on YouTube. Check it out. Full video on there. But I've said if we get Lane Kiffin, college football as we know it is over. We will dominate. Unless something crazy happens, who knows? It is college football. Who knows? We have Lane Kiffin. He's going to utilize those funds each and every season. And the most important thing, he's going to develop each and every prospect that does decide to commit to LSU from here on out. They know now that there's going to be an offense that's worth the money and the progress and the development in the next level to the NFL. Now, if I choose as a prospect, if I choose to come to LSU now, I should know that one, Lane Kiffin will get me where I need to go. Whether it's on the offensive side of the ball, and the defensive side of the ball. We're going to have the staff. I believe he's being so smart and also saying with doing things that I will bring up in past episodes as far as the staff goes, because I strongly believe he's going to keep Frank Wilson, which would be great. If we keep Frank Wilson, that's perfect. If we keep Frank Wilson and Corey Raymond, if we keep Frank Wilson, Corey Raymond, and Blake Baker as the defensive coordinator, man, I believe Lane Kiffin's going to keep that staff together mostly. As far as the offensive side, I believe it's already confirmed that he's bringing in the wide receivers coach. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the names, but he's bringing his wide receivers coach. His strength and conditioning coach, Savage. He's a good strength and conditioning coach. So I believe that's an important hire. He's bringing him with him. Of course, Charlie Weiss Jr. is coming with him. What have I been saying, man? Check me out on TikTok, man. LSU FANDAN. What I've been saying on all my posts, with all the big homies on in the TikTok world, we all say the same thing. We need to get an offensive-minded coach with an offensive-minded, seasoned play-calling offensive coordinator that can come in and know what they're doing, know how to attack defenses' weaknesses, different defenses. They know, what to call at certain situations. I look at this and I believe, automatically our goal line offense will be better. You know why? Because I know Lane Kiffin's going to know I'm not going to have Tre'Davious Green or a guy like, Sharp at tight end blocking on the goal line and expecting big push from them. Tre'Davious Green with Lane Kiffin will become one of the best weapons a coach can have if Tre'Davious Green puts in the work now. I truly believe Lane Kiffin needs to sit down with Tre'Davious Green and let him know that I will use you to your full effect. Get in the weight room. Get in the lab. Work on your footwork. Work on your hands. Work on your route running. The route tree be impeccable. But, in my opinion, most of all, just get stronger. Lane Kiffin will let him know, I'm not going to have you in here blocking. I will have you in the slot. They will have to put a corner on you. They can't put a safety or a linebacker on you. You're going to open up the offense for other players. Come on, man. Lane Kiffin would know this. Lane Kiffin is a genius. Charlie Weiss has been doing a great job at Ole Miss play calling. That game that he play called against us this season, that was a great game for them play calling wise against us. We still could have won that game, but they coached a hell of a game. Out-coached, outclassed. But I digress again. Lane Kiffin is going to do what needs to be done here. Each and every young prospect that's on the team right now, if you're deciding to stay, you have a bright future ahead. Lane Kiffin is there. Not saying that Lane Kiffin is just this, second coming, but it's just the fact that we know as a program that we got the piece that we needed. And there was an offensive-minded coach that was seasoned in play calling, who will bring in an offensive coordinator that's on the same page as him, that knows what to call in certain situations. Because what we had this season, crazy work, man. It was so... It was garbage. Just being honest. Our defense kept us in a lot of games. And our offense... But that's over. That's in the past. Let's see what Lane Kiffin can do. Let's be patient. But I truly believe Lane Kiffin can turn us around for next season. And that's a tough schedule next season. But we're going to see what Lane Kiffin will do with the funds that he needs each and every season. It's an exciting time for Tiger fans, for the program of LSU. knowing, nothing catastrophic happens, we're literally going to be in contention each and every season. If this is the same Lane Kiffin that we're getting, that's going to put in the genius work that he's been putting in at Ole Miss, that we know he could be. I'm telling you, he's gonna expose what can go on with the program that has the funds that LSU is promising them. He's going to get probably the full load of prospects, because it's not the fact that he can just throw the money, but it's the fact that he can show them that I can get you to the NFL. LSU is a top program. I'm going to put you in positions to succeed in my offensive scheme. Those prospects are going to see that offensively and know Blake Baker, Corey Raymond, if they're still on board, which I believe they will be, they're going to get the defense where it needs to be each and every season. Corey Raymond is going to continue to bring the top prospects in the secondary to the program. They're not going to like it, but it's true. DBU will be back officially. It's already back this year. DJ Pickett is showing what it is. Let's give it a shot, man. Let's just see. Let's show some, little patience. But I truly believe he can turn it around this upcoming season. But I could be wrong. But my point is, I'm going to be patient. To be honest, I give him 2 years, to be real. But I know it won't take him that long because he has the funds to supplement the roster. Get the top guys in, develop them, put a game plan, a scheme around them, and just know and trust that each and every program that comes into Death Valley now, it's not so easy to come in and beat us now. Because now LSU has a top offense to go along with the top defense again. With the mind like Kiffin, and this is me being humble, but we should get at least 2 national championships in the next 5 years. And that's just me. I could be being ridiculous right there. But I'm not trying to be that.
Stupid.
I ain't trying to jump off the handle like that. But at least 2. At least 2 rings. This is Lane Kiffin, who we're talking about. Trust me, guys. This is the best hire. And he's going to prove it. He's going to put in the work. He's already showing you that he's recruiting, on the recruiting trail, basically. Visiting the top prospects, calling the guys that are committed. Come on, man. He just touched down. And he was with Lamar Brown. Come on, man. He putting in the work, man, as soon as he touched down. I'm telling you, it's going to work, man. Have faith. But, I'm just going to go in a little bit on, as I said, the bad guy era. Because I really want you guys to hear, and kids, cover your ears, because I want to play some audio from Lane Kiffin boarding the private jet to Baton Rouge. And it just lets you know that the SEC, it just means more. And again, to go back to my analogy that I gave you earlier, it's the breakup, the bad breakup. And when the one that's leaving, that knows they're making the right decision, just ups and like, you know what? This not going to work. I actually wanted to try to make it respectful, but you're not. So I'm just gonna leave. And knowing that who you move on to is better for you, giving you the things that you need. Like I said, that good girl is LSU. They're gonna pour into you every season the things that you need to succeed. The things you need to succeed. But again, I wanted to play this video, man. And again, this is a new thing. Just a new thing. I'm gonna try to add, a little audio. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble. So I'm trying to get better as I go along. Please forgive me. But guys, if it's not too loud, let me know. But I'm gonna play this. That's Lane Kiffin getting on the plane. If you guys heard it, they didn't like that, man. Adults taking time out of their day to go and spew hate at the bad guy, they say. But it's the bad breakup, man. But the one that made the decision to leave, trusting his decision to leave and was comfortable with it. This not gonna work. It'll work over here though. And I'm gonna do what I need to do at this program to succeed every season. Lane Kiffin's gonna do that, man. But you guys heard the video. That was a lot. That was a lot. And for the Ole Miss fans to show up, man, as he's boarding the plane, happy, getting love from Osbury. He knows, man. Great hire for Osbury, man. He slam dunk hire. I'm happy for the program. I'm happy for LSU fans because it's bittersweet knowing that you're a top program, even on our down years, are better than some people's best years. And even knowing at some instances every season, we have the potential to win it all. But it be circumstances like hirings, certain coaches, some players not, coming up to par, having bad coaching, period, kind of derails us a season or two every now and then. And, the outside world loves it because LSU is a top program and LSU is a blue blood. Am I overstepping? Am I being stupid? I don't believe I am. Let me see. Am I being stupid? I don't believe so. I got the shades on. LSU fans, we're in our bad guy era now. Now we got to accept it. But we also got to know that Lane Kiffin is going to put in the work to where the bad guy wins every single episode of this series of the SEC. You want to make us the bad guy program, we're going to show you. We're not the bad guy. We the truth. Truth going to set you free each and every season. Each and every season. But again, man, I'm just excited for the program. We're going to do big things in the near future. Again, in my opinion, I believe we can turn it around for next season. We're not losing much. You coach up what you have, make them better, supplement through the transfer portal, bring in a quarterback maybe. Whatever Kiffin wants to do, I fully trust him. Especially if he's going into the route of keeping Frank Wilson, Corey Raymond, and Blake Baker on staff. I'm sorry, not a lot of people not going to like it, but Hankton may be gone. Matter of fact, I think he is gone. Because Kiffin's bringing the wide receivers coach in, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about the offensive line, but, coach, we'll see. I truly believe Lane Kiffin may indeed bring in Ed Orgeron, as I was saying in past episodes. And again, you can go on Go Blue Sports Podcast to see those past episodes. He brings in Ed Orgeron again on the recruiting trail. Major. Let him maybe, have his hand into the defensive line again with Kyle Williams if you keep, Kyle Williams. But, again, we'll see. Because I believe Lane Kiffin sees improvement and knows that the defense is solid. So he may entrust into that whole staff. But again, we see. But I know he's going to keep Corey Raymond and Blake Baker and Frank Wilson. I just truly believe I would be shocked if he doesn't. Because he sees what Brian Kelly did the first year, how it was detrimental in the long run. But it's now on his way back up with this staff. So whatever Lane decides to do, I trust him, but it will be pivotal that we keep those pieces. I believe Blake Baker is growing something here, and unless he gets a head coaching offer at a nice program, I believe he will stay and continue to build their defense. Again, they are giving the funds to the staff to bring in the pieces that we need. Best situation to be in.
Perfect.
Best situation to be in for Lane Kiffin. So as LSU fans, man, we have a lot to look forward to and be excited about. Let them say what they want to say, man, about us. Let them say what they want to say about Lane Kiffin. But just know, in Dark Knight, the Joker was telling the truth a lot. And I should have had that soundbite of Joker saying, "And here we go." It would have been fire. But again, I have to resort to the horn because I don't have the soundbite. But I may get that soundbite, and every time Lane Kiffin does something amazing, that's the soundbite you're going to hear. And here we go. It's going to be incredible, man. They hate us because they ain't us. And the only reason I'm going this hard, man, because the truth is going to hit a lot of people in the face because we are getting a lot of hate. Lane is getting a lot of hate right now. The great legendary coach Bill Cowher, I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers, he won a Super Bowl. Him and Jerome Bettis in Detroit, I believe. Great coach. Had some choice words to say, man, about Lane Kiffin leaving and going to LSU. Saying that he's dismantling the program by leaving this way and threatening to take staff and poach on players. But I'm like, it's going to happen anyway if you push me out the door. And I believe Lane Kiffin was just upfront with him and letting him know, look, if you push me out the door, you don't think staff is not going to come with me. You don't think some players are going to be wanting to come with me. Think about it. It happens every season. Lane Kiffin's just going to show a lot of people what it is and what it ain't now. And a lot of programs are going to try to do the same thing, but a lot of boosters, are going to pull out, man, at a certain point. They're not going to want to continue to give that kind of money like LSU is giving Kiffin for every season. But again, you never know. But I believe we got the right guy for the program. So, guys, please be excited for it. Be excited for it. This is a great hire. Again, accept the role. It's not going to be easy, but it is the right decision. And I have the Bill Cowher audio as well. Again, a new thing that I'm trying to add to the show. So please forgive me if it's too loud. I'm going to make sure I try to adjust it as I go. But again, he had some choice words to say about Lane Kiffin. And I'm going to try to play it for you guys, okay? It's not too loud. Bear with me.
Who made a decision that he wanted to go to LSU and not stay at Ole Miss. Coach, why would you even ask that question? Why would an AD let a coach who made a decision that he wanted to go to LSU and not stay at Ole Miss coach my players and use my coaches and tell them for the next month why they should be joining him at LSU? Totally understand. I would just say thank you, Lane, and goodbye. And that being said, if indeed he decides to take other coaches with him, I would just say any player that goes to play for Lane Kiffin, just understand one thing. It's not about the program. It's about Lane Kiffin, because he don't care about the players that he just went through a season with, a special season, players he's had for 4 years with an opportunity to go to the playoffs. He's decided to take them and not only leave them, which I get, okay, you want to do that, but now you're going to take offensive coaches with you and destroy the program. And deplete the program. Deplete the program and the dreams of these young men who you said that you want to be there and you want to do it with. But if I can't do it, I'm not going to let you do it yourself. Why would you even ask that?
You guys, if you heard that, there's some choice words for Lane Kiffin. If you ask me, I told you guys in past episodes they don't want this to happen. The paintbrush of bad guy is gonna be all over the program. And you know what? We are gonna have to embrace it and continue to show the college football world. I could be wrong, but LSU will be in contention every year. And I give next year a mulligan, even though I believe he can turn it around year one. And that's just me being real with you. He can turn it around year one, in my opinion, if he gets the right guys in here. Offense will be there next year. There's no doubt. Offense will be there. Who knows who Lane will bring in out of the transfer portal. A lot of people may not like it, but I think it'll be a good pickup if he gets into the transfer portal. I truly believe Lane Kiffin, will be able to do whatever he wants to do to any team he wants to do it to if he got Lenore Sellers from South Carolina, if he decided to leave. And, I don't know if his brother has eligibility, but we will have to replenish the safety room. I believe his brother plays safety. I could be wrong. You guys help me in the comments. Let me know. But I believe Lenore Sellers has a brother. 2 birds, 1 stone, Lane Kiffin, if he decides that option. I believe the former Arizona State quarterback was it already in the transfer portal. I'm blanking on his name right now. Sorry. But the Arizona State quarterback, Kiffin, if Trinidad, Chandless is trying to petition to have another year eligibility, who knows? He may come with Kiffin. Who knows? But again, man, embrace it. You heard it. For public use, the Hope I don't get in trouble for playing that. That was, brought to us by CBS Sports on Instagram. Choice words, man. I wanted to see what you guys think. We're the bad guy now. Embrace it, LSU fans. But know that your program is in good hands now. We will consistently win with Lane Kiffin if it all goes well. And let's just hope it goes well, because we can be an unstoppable program. There's a reason Nick Saban would tell Lane Kiffin to lean this way. There's a reason Pete Carroll would tell him to take your shot. It is what it is, man. You guys heard the boos and the, profanities from the Ole Miss fans at him boarding the private jet to head to Baton Rouge. Bad breakup. For one side, they're realizing they're losing the best thing that ever happened to us, and we took it for granted. You didn't think to try to match, because I don't think Ole Miss tried to match their offer, because that would have broke the camel's back, and he would have just stayed. I'm like, hey, they give me the funds here. I just keep doing what I'm doing in the transfer portal. Keep building. No, but it didn't work out that way. Again, he chose up. Just being real. And for all the people that think it won't work,
Stupid.
you guys think it's a game. You guys think we're not going to be a good team year in and year out. We're going to be trash.
Boom, boom.
You guys are going to have to accept the fact, man. Got to accept the fact. We taking over. No more play time in the college football world. Every single year, Lane Kiffin is going to produce a top tier product year in and year out at LSU. Barring anything catastrophic happens, and the college football world knows it. They didn't want this to happen. I said it before. They didn't want this to happen. Check out the smear campaign all over social media, influencers, other networks. They don't like this move, man. They know Lane is in the right spot to really be dangerous. And again, man, thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm gonna try to get better with this. Hopefully I don't get banned or the videos taken off for using the audio. But I wanted to add something different. I try to get better as I go along. But again, thank you guys. Go Blue Sports Podcast. LSU FANDAN, one half of the sports podcast. Again, Coach Tory Lynch will be with me soon. And we'll go from there. It'll be a movie. On TikTok, LSU FANDAN 1. Instagram, LSU_FANDAN. Thank you guys. Please like, follow, and subscribe. More importantly, man, comment. Leave your comments. I love to interact. Do that for your boy, man, as I get better, man. Again, till next time, man, I come back with the updates.